All right, my name is Joyce Mataya. I am coming from Malawi. I've been working with Kabongo since it started. Kabongo stands for Capacity Building for Organizations. It's a local NGO based in Malawi. The major focus for the organization has been organizational development. And that's how I came into knowing about organizational development and doing OD. Since then, I've been doing organizational development. My experiences have been varied. I remember in one of the interventions when I went there, I took my flip chart stand, had prepared everything, had put it there. This is a group of men largely, who were dairy farmers. But most of them were old men. They had been working in government, retired. Now they went into dairy farming. And when I was there, the first question someone asked me, are you the facilitator? I said, yes, I am. And without really thinking what the question was all about. And then, okay. And then he came back and said, so how many people are working for Kabongo? I said, there are about 6 of us. Where are the others? Are they all women? And so I wasn't too sure about the question, but I said, okay, a colleague of mine is coming. And at that time, I was young. I was about 27 years old, and I was very, very slim, not as I'm looking now. So they were looking at, what is this little girl going to talk to us about? So at lunchtime, he came back and said, do you know why I was asking you whether there were other facilitators? Because when I saw you, from my cultural background, I said, what is this little girl going to tell us? But I must be very honest, I'm honored, and you know what you are doing as a facilitator. So for me, working in that was like one of my first experiences where people look down on you because you're a woman, first and foremost, and I was young and they were old. So that kind of also contributed to okay, so what is it that I need to do? So for me, what I really focused on was developing my own practice as an OD practitioner. And I remember one of my goals was basically focusing, okay, I want to be a more professional OD practitioner. And at that time, we were still undergoing through training with Read James and other organizations, Olive, CDRA. And these people have really contributed to my own personal development as an OD practitioner. And one of the major challenges that I've confronted going through that ladder, I've largely come across men and women doing OD. But if you really say, who are maybe people who I really cherish, you would discover that most of them are men. So where are the women? And what have been some of my challenges? For me, looking at the OD, I've been like in my organization, since it started in 1997, people have come and gone, and I'd been like the constant figure. And I had even to develop and contribute to the development of the OD practitioners who are coming up with their program, training them, mentoring them, coaching them. And in total, I've coached maybe about 10 or so, 9 to 10 people. And some of them have left Kabongo a long time ago, started their own institutions. And when you start looking at some of them, maybe in terms of visibility, maybe some of them are still getting more visibility than I am as an OD practitioner. Part of it, maybe it's also to do with myself as a woman. Maybe I'm not, there's something that I focus more than maybe the others would focus on. But also I'm just looking at, maybe it's also related to my own personal, I don't know whether I would say personal values or attitude, where I'm not really saying, okay, I'm not in competition with anyone. What gives me so much satisfaction, when I go out there, I do the work, and it's very high quality work. I must admit that I've been challenged by the feedback that I always get when I work with people. But part of my inspiration comes from my trust that Christ or God is going to guide me. So I pray for all my interventions, and that gives me satisfaction. When I come back, I see people and I get the feedback. That gives me satisfaction. One of my challenges, I've got so many experiences, but I haven't put them in writing. And sometimes I think maybe because I haven't put those things in writing, people look at, okay, they are reading some writings by other people, even if they have done OD for 2 years, for 3 years, maybe the writing is part of promoting visibility. And most of the writers are not women. And especially OD, I don't know how many women are really writing about OD. So maybe that's a challenge. And as I'm talking now, it's also talking to me. What is it am I going to do? What is it that I'm going to do about it? Am I going to continue like that? So it's one of the challenges. And yet, personally, as a person, my values I focus on, okay, I've received a lot of support. I am good. I know what I'm very good at. And I also know what I'm not very good at. But how do I build on what I'm very good at? But at the same time, how do I share some of those experiences? I will not wait for people, because sometimes we think, when we're talking about women, from my own experience, if you are really very good, it doesn't matter whether you're a woman or a man when it comes to OD. In terms of facilitation, like in Malawi, I believe I have a lot of respect when it comes to OD issues. Not because I'm a woman, but because I'm good at what I'm doing. So it's not about being a woman or being a man, but it's being professional and being good at what you're doing, but also able to say, no, this one I cannot do. Because there are times that you think you can do everything because you're not the practitioner and you think you can solve organizational problems, which is not really true. So that ability that has given me that balance as an OD practitioner. And I know it also involves, the practice involves a lot of traveling. So maybe for me, what I haven't really managed is, how do I balance family life, going out there, doing work, sitting down, doing some reflection, write and share some of those have been maybe some of the challenges that it has been a challenge for me to balance those. But I still see that as one of the key things that can enable or promote visibility of the people, OD practitioners.